Keanu Reeves rolls up on a sleek black motorcycle, engine humming low, and stops at a roadside cookie stand run by Sophie Miller, a wide-eyed teen with a dream bigger than her small coastal town. She's hustling homemade cookies to buy a camera, itching to film untold stories. Keanu buys every last one, drops a wad of cash, and flashes a grin that hides a deeper story. How about you tag along, Sophie? Bring the cookies. We'll chase something real. She's floored. Who is this guy? At home, her fisherman dad Jack squints at Keanu's card and grumbles, "Be careful," but Sophie's hooked. Next day, over coffee, Keanu spills it. He's honoring a lost friend, Daniel, a dreamer who never got his shot. "Let's hit the road," he says. Sophie grabs her mom's old camera and they're off. Destination unknown, adventure calling. Keanu Reeves kills the engine and swings off his motorcycle, boots crunching against the gravel as he approaches Sophie's cookie stand. He's tall, shades perched low, but it's the easy smile that catches her off guard. "You bake all these yourself?" he asks, voice smooth and curious. Sophie nods, wiping her hands on her apron, and spills her dream in a rush. "I'm saving for a camera. I want to make documentaries, real stories about real people." Keanu listens, head tilted like he's sizing up more than just her cookies. He digs into his pocket, buys every last one, and slides a stack of bills across the table, way more than they're worth. Sophie's jaw drops, but before she can thank him, he's already turning back to his bike. Then he stops. "Sophie," he says, voice dropping low, "how about you come with me? Bring those cookies, we'll chase some stories together." Her heart slams against her ribs. She stares, frozen, as he mounts the bike and rolls off, leaving dust and questions in his wake. Who is this guy? Why her? The cash feels heavy in her hands, but his words weigh more. She bolts home, bursting through the door where her dad Jack is hunched over a fishing net. "Dad, you won't believe this," she says, breathless, shoving Keanu's card at him. Jack squints at the name, Keanu Reeves, and snorts. "Sounds like a scam, or a nutcase." "But Sophie's not buying it. He knew my name, Dad. He listened to me. What if this is my shot?" Jack rubs his beard, uneasy, but her fire's contagious. "Fine," he grumbles. "We'll meet him, together." Next day, Keanu's waiting at a rundown coffee joint, sipping black coffee like it's an old friend. He spots them, waves them over, and gets straight to it. "I'm not here to play hero," he says, eyes flicking between Sophie and Jack. "Your daughter's got something special. Grit, a dream. It hit me hard." He leans forward, elbows on the table. "I had a friend once, Daniel. Loved stories too, wanted to film them, share them. Life didn't let him finish." Seeing Sophie, it's like a second chance. Sophie's eyes widen. Jack crosses his arms, skeptical. "So, what's the deal? You just scoop up random kids?" Keanu chuckles, soft and real. "Not random. Her. She's got that spark Daniel lost. I want to help her run with it." He pulls out a map, taps it. "I'm heading north. Old places, old memories. She can film it, make something out of it." Sophie's pulse races. "This isn't just about cookies anymore. It's bigger." Jack stares him down, then nods slow. "Keep her safe." That's the line. Keanu grins, faint but genuine. Deal. He looks at Sophie, eyes steady. "Pack your stuff. We're rolling out tomorrow." She's halfway out the door in her mind already, chasing a dream she didn't know could start with a stranger on a bike. Sophie barrels through the door, nearly tripping over a pile of fishing gear as she finds Jack hunched over his nets, calloused hands working the knots. "Dad, you've got to hear this," she says, voice shaking with adrenaline, thrusting Keanu's card at him. Jack takes it, squints at the name, Keanu Reeves, and lets out a dry laugh. "Some actor wannabe? Or a con man? Either way, watch yourself, Soph. She's not fazed." "He's real, Dad. He heard me, really heard me. What if this is it, my chance?" Her eyes burn with that stubborn spark Jack knows too well. He sighs, rubbing his neck. "All right, we'll check him out, but I'm coming with you." Next morning, they're at a weathered coffee shop, the kind where the tables wobble and the air smells faintly of fish and burnt grounds. Keanu's already there, leaned back in a chair, coffee cup cradled in his hands. He spots them, nods, and motions them over. No small talk, he cuts right to it. I'm not some creep snatching kids, he says, glancing at Jack before locking eyes with Sophie. I'm on the road chasing something I can't name yet. Then I saw her, heard her dream. It stopped me cold. He pauses, takes a sip, then lowers his voice. I had a friend, Daniel. Loved cameras, stories, the whole deal. Wanted to make films that mattered. He never got the chance. Life chewed him up and I didn't pull him out in time. His fingers tighten around the mug, knuckles whitening. Sophie's fire. It's like seeing him again. I want to give her what I couldn't give him. Jack leans forward, arms crossed. Nice story. But why her? Why now? Keanu meets his stare, unflinching. Because she's not just dreaming. She's doing. Those cookies. That hustle. That's Daniel's kind of crazy. I can't explain it better than that. Sophie's breath catches. She's never heard anyone talk about her like this. Like she's already somebody. Jack studies Keanu, then softens. Just a fraction. You take her, you call me every day, no exceptions. Keanu nods. You've got my word. He turns to Sophie. Grab what you need. We're leaving at dawn. She doesn't sleep that night. By morning, she's packed her mom's old camera, the one with scratches on the lens, the only piece of her she's got left, and a tin of cookies, still warm. Keanu's waiting in a black SUV, engine idling. She climbs in, expecting Hollywood glitz on the horizon. Instead, he swings the wheel north. Wait, where are we going? She asks, clutching the camera. He smirks, eyes on the road. Gotta stop to make first, trust me. Hours later, they pull into a sleepy Washington village, the kind where the streets feel forgotten. Keanu parks outside a crumbling movie theater, its marquee half-lit, letters dangling. This is it, he says, stepping out. Sophie follows, confused, as he pushes open the creaky door. Inside, it's dim, musty, rows of faded velvet seats and a projector that looks like it hasn't spun in years. An old woman, Martha, shuffles out from the back, her face lighting up when she sees Keanu. You're back, she says, voice crackling like static. He hugs her, quick and tight, then turns to Sophie. This was Daniel's spot. Worked here as a kid, screening films, shooting his own. I bought it after he was gone. Couldn't let it die. Martha leads them to a dusty storage room, pulls out a box of film reels. His stuff, she says, handing one to Sophie, never finished any of it. Sophie spools one up on an old projector Keanu rigs together. Grainy images flicker, fishermen hauling nets, kids racing on the docks, all silent but alive with feeling. She watches, throat tight, as Daniel's half-told stories unfold. He was good, she whispers. Keanu nods, staring at the screen. He was, just ran out of time. Martha pats his arm. You're doing right by him now. They hit the road again, winding through pine-thick back roads. Sophie's got the camera out, filming Keanu as he drives. His hands steady on the wheel, his voice low when he talks about Daniel. We were kids together, he says one night, crouched by a campfire they've built off the highway. Used to sneak into that theater, watch movies till dawn. He'd talk about making his own. Said he'd show the world what it missed. His eyes glint in the firelight, heavy with something unspoken. I egged him on, but when he started slipping, drugs, bad choices, I bailed. Thought he'd pull through. He didn't. Sophie lowers the camera, her chest aching. You couldn't save him, she says, soft. But you're here now. She starts piecing it together. Clips of Keanu's stories, shots of the road, those old reels from Daniel. It's messy, raw, but it's taking shape. A film about dreams that don't die easy. One night, parked under a sky full of stars, she shows Keanu a rough cut on the camera's tiny screen. He watches, silent, then mutters, You're like him, you know, that same hunger. She grins, shy but proud. Maybe I got it from you too. The miles stack up, and so do the stories. Keanu opens up more, how Daniel's death gutted him, how he's been running from it ever since. Sophie listens, films, bakes cookies in gas station microwaves to keep them going. They're a team now, bound by something neither can name. But then, outside Portland, Keanu's mood shifts. He's quieter, hands gripping the wheel tighter. What's up? Sophie asks, sensing the change. He doesn't look at her. There's more to this trip, something I haven't told you. Her stomach flips. Like what? He pulls into a lot near the river, cuts the engine. Daniel's folks are here, he says finally. His mom, Ellen, she hasn't seen me since the funeral. I wrote her about you, about this. He taps the camera in her lap. She wants to meet you, and she's got something of his. You're not just helping me, she says, piecing it together. You're fixing something, aren't you? Keanu's jaw tightens, then softens. Maybe we're fixing each other. They walk to a small house, porch sagging but warm with light. Ellen opens the door, gray hair pulled back, eyes sharp but kind. She hugs Keanu hard, like she's been waiting years for it. You look like hell, she says, half laughing, then turns to Sophie. And you're the cookie girl, Sophie blushes, nodding. Inside, Ellen pulls out a battered journal, Daniel's. He wrote everything in here, she says, handing it to Sophie. Dreams, scripts, crazy ideas. Keanu said you'd know what to do with it. Sophie flips through, pages yellowed but alive with Daniel's scrawl, sketches of scenes, notes on shots he'd never take. Her hands shake. This is everything, she whispers. Keanu watches her, voice rough. He'd want you to have it, to finish what he couldn't. Ellen touches his shoulder. You're not that kid who ran anymore, Keanu. Look at her. She's proof. That night, Sophie stays up, reading Daniel's words by flashlight in the SUV. Keanu's asleep in the driver's seat, but she feels him there, steady, solid. She's not just chasing her dream now, she's carrying his, and Daniel's too. The road ahead's long, but for the first time, she knows where it's leading. They're barely out of Ellen's driveway when Keanu's demeanor shifts again, his hands restless on the wheel as Portland's skyline looms closer. Sophie notices, her fingers pausing on Daniel's journal. You okay? She asks, voice soft but prodding. He doesn't answer right away, just stares ahead, jaw tight. Finally he says, This isn't just a road trip anymore, Soph. I've been setting something up. Her stomach twists. What do you mean? He glances at her, eyes shadowed. Daniel knew some people, indie filmmakers. I tracked them down, told them about you, the camera, the cookies. They want to see what you've got. Sophie's breath catches, panic flaring. What? I don't have anything ready, it's just scraps? Keanu's voice stays calm, steadying her. It's not scraps, it's you. Your story, your heart, like those cookies you bake. Honest, real. Just show them that. She's a wreck the rest of the drive, clutching the camera like it might run away. Keanu pulls into a nondescript lot near downtown, a squat building with a flickering sign, Riverfront Studio. This is it, he says, cutting the engine. Sophie's legs feel like jelly, but he's already out, motioning her to follow. Inside it's chaos, cables snaking across the floor, half a dozen people hunched over laptops or arguing over coffee cups. A woman with sharp eyes and a messy bun spots them, strides over. Keanu, you're late, she says, then zeroes in on Sophie. You're the kid, huh? I'm Clara, let's see it. Sophie freezes, but Keanu nudges her forward. She's got this, he says, quiet but firm. They cram into a tiny screening room, the air thick with expectation. Sophie's hands shake as she plugs in her camera, fumbling with the rough cut she's patched together overnight. It's not finished, she mumbles, apologetic. Clara waves it off. Just play it. The screen flickers to life. 10 shaky minutes of their journey. Keanu by the campfire, voice raw as he talks about Daniel. Sophie's hands kneading dough in a gas station microwave. Those grainy clips of Daniel's fishermen, their faces weathered and alive. It's messy, stitched with static and heart, ending on a still of Daniel's journal, open to a scribbled line, tell it like it is, even if it breaks you. The room goes dead silence when it cuts to black. Sophie's stomach drops. She's blown it. Then Clara claps, sharp and sudden, and the others join, a wave of sound that hits her like a punch. Kid, Clara says, grinning, that's gold, raw as hell. We'll fund you to make it full length. You in? Sophie's head spins, words stuck in her throat. She looks at Keanu, who's leaning against the wall, arms crossed, a faint smile tugging at his lips. Told you, he mouths. Clara's already barking orders, schedules, budgets, but Sophie barely hears it. She's floating, anchored only by Keanu's steady gaze. They spill out into the lot after, her legs still wobbly, and he says, You need air. Come on. He leads her to the Willamette River, the water glinting under a gray sky. They sit on a bench, the city humming behind them, and for a minute neither speaks. Then Keanu breaks it, voice low and rough. "I've never told anyone this, not Ellen, not Martha. Daniel, he died because of me." Sophie turns, startled. His hands are clasped tight, knuckles white. "What happened?" she asks, barely a whisper. He stares at the river, eyes distant. "He was drowning. Pills, booze, all of it. I saw it coming, kept saying I'd drag him out, get him clean, but I was busy. Work, life, excuses. One night he called me, voice all slurry, begging me to come. I said, tomorrow. There was no tomorrow." His voice cracks and he scrubs a hand over his face. "Cops found him in his apartment. Overdose. I didn't save him, Soph. I let him go." The words hang heavy, jagged, and Sophie feels them lodge in her chest. She doesn't think, just slides closer and wraps her arms around him, tight as she can. He stiffens, then sags, like he's been carrying that guilt too long. "You're helping me," she says, voice thick. "And through me, you're helping him. This," she taps the camera between them, "this is his story too. You didn't let him go, you brought him back." Keanu's breath hitches and he squeezes her shoulder, hard. "You're too damn wise, kid," he mutters, but there's a crack of relief in it. She pulls back, wipes her eyes, and sees something shift in him. Grief still there, but lighter, shared. They sit there, river lapping at the shore, and it's like a knot's loosened between them. Not just a guy and a girl on a trip anymore. Family forged in the mess of dreams and loss. Back at the studio, Clara's relentless, pushing Sophie to flesh out the film, tossing ideas like grenades. Keanu hangs back, letting her take the lead, but he's there, a quiet anchor. Late that night, sprawled on a couch with takeout boxes and Daniel's journal, Sophie sketches a new ending. Keanu at that old theater, screening Daniel's reels for a crowd that never got to see them. "Think they'd like it?" she asks, pencil hovering. He looks over, eyes soft. "They'll love it. He'd love it." She nods, scribbling faster, the story growing under her hands. Clara's crew sets a deadline, 3 months, to shoot a feature. Sophie's, terrified but electric, diving into footage like it's oxygen. Keanu sticks around Portland, renting a cheap room nearby, showing up with coffee or a dumb joke when she's fraying. One afternoon, filming by the river, he catches her off guard. "You're not just finishing his dream, Sophie. You're starting yours. Don't forget that." She lowers the camera, grins. "Couldn't have started without you." He shrugs, but his eyes crinkle. Pride, maybe hope. The days blur, Sophie editing late, Keanu digging up old contacts to help, both of them piecing together something bigger than either expected. One night, Clara screens a rough cut for the team. It's longer now, sharper. Keanu's voice weaving through Daniel's clips. Sophie's cookies a thread of warmth tying it all. The room's quiet again when it ends, but this time, Sophie doesn't flinch. Clara's verdict is simple. "We're taking this to festivals. You too? You're a damn team." Keanu claps Sophie's shoulder, a silent, "we did it," that says more than words. By the river again, just then, Sophie hugs the journal to her chest. "Think Daniel's watching?" she asks, half serious. Keanu looks up, sky darkening overhead. "Yeah, think he's pissed I didn't bring cookies." She laughs loud and free, and he joins her, a sound that feels like healing. They're not done, not even close. But the weight's shifted. Keanu's not running anymore, and Sophie's not just dreaming. They're building, together, one frame at a time. The Portland buzz fades as Keanu points the SUV south. Los Angeles calling like a finish line neither of them saw coming. Sophie's got the journal on her lap, pages dog-eared from late-night reads, and a tin of cookies rattling in the back, her way of keeping things steady. "Clara pulled strings," Keanu says, voice casual but laced with pride. "Got your film into a small festival down there, young filmmakers, indie stuff." "You're in?" Sophie's eyes widen, a grin breaking through her nerves. "Seriously? Me?" He nods, smirking. "Told you." "You're the real deal." She clutches the camera tighter, half thrilled, half terrified, but Keanu's calm keeps her grounded. They roll into LA late, the city a sprawl of lights and noise. The festival's tucked in a scrappy theater downtown, nothing fancy. Folding chairs, a patchy screen, a crowd of scruffy dreamers like her. Sophie's hands shake as she unloads her gear, but Keanu's there, hauling a box of cookies she baked in a motel microwave. "Fuel for the troops," he says, winking, and starts passing them out. People grab them, laughing, asking about the kid with the camera and the guy with the cookies. She's too wired to eat, pacing as her film slot nears. Keanu leans against a wall, arms crossed, watching her like he's seeing something bigger unfold. The lights dim and her film flickers up. 10 minutes stretched to 20 now, polished but still raw. Keanu's campfire stories mix with Daniel's grainy reels, Sophie's voice narrating over shots of dough-covered hands and open roads. The crowd's quiet, sucked in, and when it ends on that journal line, "Tell it like it is," a few sniffles break the silence. Then applause, loud and messy, rolls through. Sophie's frozen until Keanu nudges her up front. A guy with a clipboard calls her name. "Spirit of Creativity Award, Sophie Miller." She stumbles forward, clutching a cheap plaque, and mumbles a thank you that gets drowned in cheers. Keanu's back by the seats, out of the spotlight, but his smile's wide. Soft, like he's seeing Daniel up there with her. After, they slip out, the night warm and buzzing, Sophie still clutching the award, dazed. "I didn't think, me?" Keanu chuckles, steering her toward the coast. "You earned it, Soph, every frame." They end up at Santa Monica, the beach stretching dark and endless. She kicks off her shoes, grabs the camera, and films the waves, crashing, relentless, alive. Keanu flops onto the sand beside her, staring out. "So," he says, voice low, "what's next?" She lowers the lens, sand gritty between her toes, and thinks. "More stories," she says finally, firm. "People like Daniel, like you, like me, the ones nobody sees, I want to show them." He nods, slow, like he's turning it over. "Good answer." She digs into her bag, pulls out a battered camping stove and a mix she's been saving. "One more thing," she says, firing it up. Keanu raises a brow as she starts mixing dough right there, the ocean humming behind them. "Cookies?" he asks, half laughing. "For Daniel," she says, serious. "A promise." He's still part of this. Keanu's grin fades to something softer, and he grabs a spoon, helping her scoop dough onto a makeshift tray. They bake them slow, the smell cutting through the salt air, a little burned but perfect. She holds one up, crumpling it into the wind. "For you, Daniel," she whispers, and Keanu echoes it, voice rough. "For you, man." They eat the rest, quiet, the waves filling the gaps. Sitting there, sand in their hair and crumbs on their hands, it hits her. This isn't just her win, or Keanu's redemption, it's bigger. "You ever think," she says, hesitant, "that dreams don't really die, like they just wait for someone to pick them up?" Keanu leans back, staring at the sky. "Yeah," he says after a beat. "Daniel's been waiting a long time. You grabbed it, Soph. Ran with it." She hugs her knees, the weight of that settling in. Not heavy, but warm, like a hand on her shoulder. He shifts, pulls something from his pocket, a faded photo of him and Daniel, kids with goofy grins, a clunky camera between them. "Found this at Ellen's," he says, handing it to her. "Keep it, reminds me of us too." Sophie takes it, throat tight, and tucks it into the journal. "We're a team, huh?" she says, half asking. He bumps her shoulder with his. "Damn right." The festival buzz follows them. Clara's already emailing about screenings, bigger cuts, but Sophie's not rushing. She's got time, and Keanu's not bolting either. He sticks around LA, crashing on a friend's couch, showing up with coffee when she's editing late. One day, they're back at the beach, her camera rolling as he talks about Daniel. Funny stuff now, like the time he tried filming seagulls and got dive-bombed. She laughs, the sound mixing with the surf, and he does too, freer than she's heard him. It's not all fixed. Grief doesn't vanish, but it's lighter, shared. Weeks later, she's cutting a new reel, weaving that photo into the credits. For Daniel, who started it, for Keanu, who carried it. She shows it to him over greasy diner fries, and he stares at the screen, eyes shiny. "You're something else, kid," he says, voice thick. She shrugs, grinning. "Learned from the best." They're not done, not by a long shot. Sophie's got plans. More films, more unseen stories, a whole world to chase. Keanu's talking about riding north again, maybe fixing up that old theater for real. but right now, on that beach with the stove cooling and the tide creeping in, they're enough. Dreams don't just connect them to Daniel, they tie them to each other, across miles and years and broken things. She looks at him, sand-streaked and steady, and knows it. He's not just the guy who showed up on a bike. He's family. As the waves roll, Sophie picks up the camera again, framing Keanu against the horizon. "One more shot," she says, and he groans, mock dramatic but poses anyway. She clicks the shutter, the image freezing him there, smiling, real, alive. It's not an ending, it's a start. Watching Keanu and Sophie's journey, I can't help but think dreams are more than personal. They're threads stitching us to others, even through pain. Keanu carrying Daniel's loss, Sophie picking up where he left off. It's messy, human, and hits hard. Maybe that's the point. We don't just chase our own goals, we inherit the ones left behind, turning grief into something alive. Or maybe it's simpler. Keanu's just a guy who saw a kid with grit and gave her a shot. What do you think? Are dreams borrowed or built fresh? I'd argue they're both, but I'm curious about your take. Drop it in the comments. Huge thanks for sticking with this story. Your support keeps us going. Hit that like, subscribe, and follow for more tales that dig deep. Let's keep the conversation rolling.